Hello, welcome back, guys. So, in this video, we are going to talk about the topic scene of occurrence under forensic science. So, a scene of occurrence is a place where criminal offense is reported to have taken place. After a crime is reported to the police, the investigator process is set into the motion. So, here the proper handling of the crime scene, processing of the evidence are the crucial steps which have to be taken care. A scene of occurrence of a crime is a place where a particular crime has been committed or where physical evidence of such crime is found when it is first brought to the notice of the police. The scene of occurrence cannot be limited to one place. Okay? See, uh, so when the investigator starts searching for the evidence, there are different kinds of searching methods. So first, there are like four parts, that is recognize, identify, preserve, and collect. And scene of occurrence is not limited to one place, which means that let us take an example where you have come across with a crime of murder and you have a dead body, but it's without any blood splatters around it, which means the scene of crime is not only that one place. Means the crime which have taken place is somewhere else, and the killer have brought that body from there to this place. So what that means the place which you are investigating right now is a secondary crime scene. The primary crime scene will be the place where the crime has actually committed. So the scene of crime is not limited to one place. It can be extend to one or more places. It may also not be limited to immediate surroundings but may also extend to wider areas depending upon the nature of the crime. Okay, so like in examples, like if you take a rape case or murder case, it can be extended to different kinds of areas also. Like if you take an example that a group of men, if they have kidnapped a girl and they have sexually assaulted her in some other place, and then after that they have murdered that girl in some other place. So the scene of occurrence or crime scene is not being limited here. It's changing from one position or one place to other place. So that this sentence mean. Okay, you have to remember this point. And then, so in a compact scene of crime such as burglary, the scene may be divided into five parts, that is line of approach, point of entry, actual scene, point of exit, and line of retreat. So these are the five things where the crime scene is divided into. Actual scene is where the crime has committed, actual scene. The point of entry where the, if you take an example of burglary only. So here burglary means it's a crime where illegal entry to someone's house for committing a crime, usually without having any direct contact with the victim. So line of approach means it's kind of the path which they have chosen, and point of entry means if they have entry to the house through windows or any kind of doors or through by terrace doors, etc. That is known as point of entry. Actual scene means where they have robbed or where they have taken some of the money or they have robbed the house, and point of exit means from where they are going through, like after they have robbed the entire like home or the property things, they have to leave the house, right? So that point of exit is that. So they're going to divide into these five types of scenes of crimes, and according to this they will start the investigation. Then the scene of crime may be classified as outdoor and indoor crime scene. A crime committed on a road or on a field is known as outdoor crime scene, whereas a crime committed in a house or in a car or in an indoor things then is known as indoor crime scene. Okay, so just you have to mention the examples. They can ask you for the examination. So outdoor means road or in fields. Road in the sense like you can get in a road accidents. All they all come under the outdoor crime scene. Whereas indoor crime scene means which occur the crime have which have been occurred inside the house. Okay. Then There are some crimes which don't have any scene of occurrence, means they don't have any crime scene, but the crime have been committed. So examples are like forgery and embezzlement. Okay, so it's known as forgery and embezzlement, which means here we don't have any particular scene of crime, but the crime have been committed. So just remember the examples of them. Okay, so the crime of indoor and outdoor nature like theft or housebreaking, robbery, homicide, rape, traffic accidents, they all have different kinds of evidences because they all are different kinds of crimes, right? So physical evidences found at the crime scene can be a key to the solution of a crime. Now let us know different kinds types of crimes, just to know what are they and how they are different from each other. So first one is coming to the burglary. Burglary means it's an illegal entry to someone's house for committing a crime, usually without having any direct contact with the victim. It's also a kind of robbery thing, but they don't have any kind of contact with the victim. It means without the knowledge of the victim, they'll just do this illegal entry and to commit a crime. Then, robbery. Robbery is a kind of a theft where includes a forced entry, which involves the threat to take property from a person. Direct contact with the victim is seen here, means they will try to threaten the persons of the home or house, then they will rob the house. So they have a direct contact with the victim, that's known as robbery. Then we have embezzlement, it's a different kind of name of the crime, so which we have to know. It means stealing money or property that has been entrusted to one care, often by an employer or someone in position of trust, using for own benefits. So let me explain in a normal simple way. Let us take an example that my friend gave me like 2000 rupees, just because my friend trusts me that I will won't steal that money and I won't use for my own benefit. But what I did, but I have stole that money and I have used for my own benefit. So that comes under embezzlement, means which means like they have entrusted to one's care and they give, but in return they lost. So example is by often by an employee or someone in a position of trust and using for their own benefit. Then next, forgery. Just now I have said that forgery is a it's a crime where we don't have any scene of occurrence. So, forgery means the action of forging a copy or imitation of a document, signature, or work of art, which means we are copying someone's signature and like that. Okay, so this forging crime is usually seen with the documents crimes. Okay, they usually what they do is they try to forge the signatures and this crime will be committed like that. Then we have dacoity. Dacoity means it's a robbery which involves five or more people in that. It's known as dacoity. Then homicide. Usually you know what is homicide because you're forensic students, right? So homicide means killing of one person by another one. But we have again two divisions under that. That is criminal and non-criminal. Criminal means murder and manslaughter. Criminal and a criminal kind of homicide we get murder on and manslaughter, and under non-criminal we get defensive and excusable in the sense accident with no negligence. I'll explain. See, murder means killing someone with an intention, or if you have any pre-murder plan and you have an intention, you're making this plan from a long time ago, so that is known as that comes under murder. Then manslaughter. Manslaughter means killing a person in heat of passion due to intent emotion of anger and rage. Sometimes only that it causes harm but doesn't kill the person. Here there is no intention. You know what is murder, right? So what is manslaughter means when you're talking with some person and trying to provoke you or something, and without control of emotions you're getting angry and rage, and you just want to hit the person or try to hurt the person, and in that kind of case if you hit them or if you accidentally kill them, that's known as manslaughter. Okay, we don't have any intention, we don't plan to murder them or kill them from a long time ago. It's just a quick action. Whereas non-criminal means defensive. When you're trying to defend yourself in any kind of crime occurrence, and then you have what made an hit on the other person when you're trying to defend yourself, when you're trying to protect yourself, then it's known as defensive. And excusable means accident with no negligence, which means if let's take an example that I am driving a car and I'm normally going in a normal range of speed, but suddenly a person appears in front of nowhere and he was running. So it is his negligence or not our negligence. But the accident have taken place and he have lost his life. Or he got accident like he got hurt, or else he has lost his life. Then that comes under non-criminal, like excusable, which means accident with no negligence. You did not do any negligence thing here, but the fault mistake was that person's. So that come under this. Okay. Now, let us know a little bit on about the Locard's principle of exchange. So, Locard's principle of exchange is a very famous principle or a kind of theory under forensic science, which everyone have to remember. It's a theory of mutual exchange. When two objects come into contact, there is always an exchange of material. That is known as Locard's principle of exchange. Okay. Okay, what we'll do is we'll discuss about we have seven principles, basic principles in forensic science, right? So I'm going to discuss about that in other video. I'm just giving a small kind of info or definition about the Lucas principle. Okay, then we have some kind of limitations. So limitations under this means if you take an example that a crime has committed, like if you take an example of car accident or a hit and run case, and the investigation officers and police officers, they have arrived at the crime scene, they have secured it, and they have collected the evidence, preserved the evidence, and they have sent to the laboratories, and the laboratories they have examined all the evidences and they have given their conclusion or the results, and then that have to be proceeded to the courts. Before that it should also go with the expert opinions and then to the courts. So do you think these all things which I've said right now will occur in one to do days? Not possible. Not possible. It will take sometimes days or even sometimes weeks or even months together, because there will be so many crimes and there will be a kind of delay from our side or from the investigation officers and etc. So, just remember this point that recently Delhi High Court has laid down the time limit for obtaining the expert opinion. So Delhi High Court, they have gave a statement that like they have said that there is a limited time for obtaining the expert opinion. So in that time period itself, this all the things, collection of the evidence, forwarding, preserving to the forwarding to the laboratories, and they examining that everything should be done in a particular time of period. So this was said by the Delhi High Court. Just you have to remember that point in case if they ask for your entrance examinations. Then come into the preservation of evidence, which is the most important step in a crime or in a crime scene, because if there is a no proper preservation of the evidences, then the result of the case may mislead. Okay, so it's a very important task of the police, that is the preservation of evidence. So there are some of the points. Let us check what are those preservation evidences points. So first and foremost is isolate the area of the crime by onlookers or family members. You know, right? There will be so many curious people walking around and they're just curious what had happened there, and they just go uh, what contaminate the crime scene. So the contamination of the crime scene is the first most what disadvantage for this. So they have to isolate the area of the crime by onlookers and by the family members too. Then nothing of the scene should be touched, changed, or altered. Altered in the sense, you know, right? What do you mean by alter? Like changing the original thing from a replaceable thing. Okay, so nothing at the scene should be touched, changed, or altered, especially with the bare hands. We shouldn't do anything. Then, once a material or a dead body is removed from the place, it can never be restored to its original position. Means, you know what? Reconstruction of the crime scene happens, right? So when they reconstruct the crime scene, uh, the whatever the dead body or the materials in the sense evidences which were present on the crime scene, once they are removed from the place, they are again never replaced in the same position or the original position. Okay, this have to be remembered by them. The reconstruction of the crime scene by to get a better knowledge that what exactly had happened in that. Then, no evidence should be picked up or touched or even disturbed till it has been minutely described in a notebook. So, what happens means there is a step in our investigation. So, the step is making note of every minute detail. So, until these notes of the crime have been taken, till then, no evidence should be picked or touched or even disturbed. Okay, then. Now we just see the investigation process. In an investigation process, the first one is recording notes, which is the most important, and this have to be maintained for each and every crime. Where here the investigators will record the facts and details of the crime, near the crime scene itself. Then, location of evidence should be accurately described and not so they have to be accurately described and not it should be not approximate, it have to be accurately described, which will be helpful for the reconstruction of the crime scene. Then the recording notes should include some of the most important things, that is like date and time of FIR, nature of crime, if it is indoor crime or outdoor crime, or what kind of crime it is, a hit and run case or car accident, those things you have to read here. Then location of crime and brief description of area. Location of the crime is like just what is the location, what is the place where this have crime have been committed. Brief description of the area in the sense one and the same thing. Then brief facts of crime, then the name of all officers, witnesses, investigators, and special personnel who are present at the crime scene. Okay, you have to write the names of all the officers or witnesses who are present there, and even you have to mention the name of the photographers and the persons who are taking the fingerprints or the persons who are doing the sketches. We have to mention each and everyone's name. Then description of interior and exterior of the crime scene. Interior in the sense like how many number of, if it's an indoor crime scene which have occurred in a house, then we have to note down number of rooms, doors, and windows. Then location and collection of the evidence, and at last date and time of completion of recording, examination of evidence. So I just say that there are some of the crimes which will be occurring at the night, and the investigation process can be delayed and can be done in the next day morning also. So at that time here this kind of thing it will be kind of delayed, so we have to write the first date and time and then the last completion of it. Okay, it can take 1 to 2 days sometimes, and depending on the nature of the crime, right? Then we have sketching. It can be a rough sketch combination with the photographs, in the sense like whenever you're taking the photographs of the crime scene, just take the photograph of the dead body and even by the evidences, right? So the photographs in this rough sketch, they have to be kind of a combined, like they have to match with each other. Then sketch should be done only at the scene of crime and not elsewhere, which means when they're sketching, the person is doing the sketching, they have to be that crime scene have to be sketched only there itself, and they shouldn't just remember or record and then do the sketch somewhere else. No, that's not possible. Then the distance measuring should be exact and not approximate. There is a kind of methods to measure the distance and everything that should be exact because it will be helpful for the reconstruction of the crime scene. Then direction should be indicated with the compass, like in which kind of direction, what direction, etc. In hit and run case or in car accidents. Then sketch should locate important object at scenes. What do you mean by important objects? It means like evidences itself, or if you're taking an what if you're taking an indoor crime, say like house robbery, then important objects in the sense like um, the table where the hair were fallen or something like that. Okay, so guys should locate important object at the scene. Okay, so this is about the scene of occurrence under forensic science, where we have studied what is scene of occurrence and how many parts this scene of crime is divided into, what are the two types of scene of crimes and what are the examples of it, and what are the two crimes where doesn't have scene of occurrence, and yesterday about the different types of crimes. Okay, what are different types of crimes and their definitions, and Locard's principle, and preservation of evidence steps, and investigating in under investigation, recording of the notes, how it's done, what are included in it, and sketching. So thank you for today. Hope you have liked this video and found it informative. If you have liked the content and video, just please like it and share it with your forensic science friends. Thank you.